Hello, my name is Garrett, and this project's supposed to be about the pineal gland. Clearly, my computer is refusing to work. The awesome PowerPoint and video project that I put together just not happening. So I'm doing this with about 10 minutes left before it's due. So let's see if I can get through this whole thing. So the pineal gland is the topic of my presentation. The pineal gland is unique as an organ because it is unpaired. This is unlike pretty much every other structure in the brain that is mirrored on both the right and the left hemisphere. The pineal gland is unlike this. It's a single, unpaired organ, sits directly in the middle of the brain. So, for example, and of course it's not working. It's not working. Just gonna have to take my word for it. Anyways, so the pineal gland, along with the abenula, I think that's how you pronounce it, make up the epithalamus, and the epithalamus is 1/4 of the diencephalon in the brain, which is another structure that involves the hypothalamus, and some other stuff that I would talk about if my notes were working. And if, look at that. Okay, that's your pinwheel of death. Seriously, this has got to be like somebody has it out for me here. All right, so what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so Galen, the Greek physician and philosopher who lived circa 100 CE in the Common Era, was the first person to come up with a comprehensive understanding of the pineal gland. Not to say that he was correct in all of his understandings. This was a time when medicine still operated on the humoral theory of disease. So, yeah, that didn't have a lot going for it. Anyway, so he wrote about the pineal gland, and the pineal gland gets its name from Latin, from pineus pinea, which was the word for the stone pine tree, because the gland itself bears a striking resemblance to the nut that comes out of a pine cone from the stone pine tree. Anyways, still frozen. Still frozen. All right. So, that's where it gets its name from. It looks like the pine nut from a pine cone from a pine tree. So, beyond that, it occupies a very special role in esoteric and mystical philosophy. People for centuries have written about the pine cone, the pineal gland, and its role in mystical experiences. René Descartes, the French philosopher, who you may know from his Cartesian coordinate system that has annoyed many people throughout history that have taken math, also said cogito ergo sum, I think therefore I am. Well, he was really obsessed with the pineal gland because he was interested in the interaction between mind and body, and he postulated that the pineal gland is the actual physical structure through which the human soul or mind interacts with the physical body. Now, this is kind of ridiculous now that, we have like modern science and stuff, and that, philosophically there's a whole lot of problems with mind-body dualism as opposed to monism. Okay, so I'm going to get this. Well, it's still coming up. There it is. There's the picture of the pineal gland. It's right in the middle of the brain, and pinwheel of death. Okay. Anyways, so where was I going with this? Pineal gland, it's great. It's got a lot of mystical associations with it. Modern science, of course, has not borne out any of the mystical claims about the pineal gland. For the most part, and still not working. Okay. All right. So, anyways, there was a recent study that came out, or documentary that came out, about how the pineal gland possibly secretes dimethyltryptamine, which is a hallucinogenic molecule that is also speculated to be released in the brain at the point of death. the pineal gland is not responsible for enormous amounts of DMT being injected into your brain. The only hormone that the pineal gland is certainly associated with is melatonin, which is responsible for the circadian rhythms and sleep-wake cycles. I'm over 5 minutes, all right, and I'm running out of time. This did not work out. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because you know what? This isn't about the grade. This isn't about the grade. This is about you guys knowing about the pineal gland, right? So melatonin is responsible for the regulation of our circadian rhythm. However, scientists still do not understand the specific physiological mechanisms by which melatonin operates. This is really an interesting thing. All we know really is that it's involved. They sell melatonin supplements. They're supposed to help you fall asleep or regulate your circadian rhythm. If you have jet lag or something, you can pop some melatonin and help reset your internal biological clock and sleep-wake cycles. Gosh, okay, so I'm still jumbled. Anyways, pretty much all vertebrates have a pineal gland. It's postulated that it arose from a vestigial eye. There's something. So the pineal gland in mystic philosophy supposedly has some relation to the concept of a third eye, a spiritual eye. Well, given that most vertebrates have a pineal gland or something that resembles a pineal gland, and in reptiles, a lot of reptiles and I think some fish, they actually have a parietal eye, which is an organ that has some photoreceptors that can respond to light, much like a retina or regular eye can. The pineal gland itself has some photoreceptor-like cells. However, they possess, I think it's rod-like structures rather than cone-like structures, which you would expect in a parietal eye. However, the theory behind it is that the pineal gland evolved from this parietal eye type structure, migrated into our brains, and there it is. So, it's still pinwheel of death. All right, okay. I can show you that. There, that's one slide. Okay, so the pineal gland, where was I going with this? Regulates circadian rhythm. That's the main thing. There are a lot of theories about the pineal gland and, specifically like pathologies related to it. There's this whole theory about like your pineal gland will be calcified. As far as we know, pretty much everybody's pineal gland gets calcified just as a matter of aging. So that may, in fact, play a role in the sleep dysregulation of elderly individuals because as they age, perhaps the calcified pineal gland diminishes the ability of the body to regulate the circadian rhythm, thus further exacerbating certain health concerns that are related to sleep issues. As we know, sleep deprivation can cause poor presentations and technical problems, or maybe not, more like vice versa. Diabetes, mental illness, depression, anxiety, all of these things are related to sleep disruption, and all of them hinge on the proper functioning of the pineal gland. So, still nothing. All right. Okay. Anyways, those are some of the pathologies associated with the pineal gland, and my project is due like right this second, so I'm gonna hope that this video just uploads, and I'm gonna pray for a C. There you go. Pineal gland, functions, evolution, etymology, Latin, pine tree. I think that's all that I can say about the pineal gland for right now. It's a really interesting organ, part of the endocrine system. Hormones, interacts with the hypothalamus. which of course is the master gland. So, or maybe it's the pituitary gland, it's the master gland. Oh gosh, I'm getting this all mixed up. Anyways, endocrine, they're all the glands. All the glands are related, and you don't want to mess with the glands. All right, goodbye.